When it comes to Zilliqa, as of right now, am I concerned? Well, the short answer is no, actually, even though nothing I say is financial advice, and even though I'm not telling anyone to do anything. However, this may seem kind of bizarre because people like to tell me, whoa, haven't you taken a look at ZIL, which is Zilliqa's native token? It's literally at a market cap as of right now, which is very similar to 2020 levels. Yes, I'm aware of that. However, here's the thing. I'm looking to dollar cost average once a month, right? I'm not trying to do any more, not trying to do any less. But if I could dollar cost average at a point in time where we're currently in 2026, but then the market cap is similar to where they were back in 2020, for dollar cost averaging purposes only, not for exiting, right? For dollar cost averaging, this is not something I'm going to complain about. Now, could hypothetically ZIL go lower? I mean, in a theoretical scenario, sure. I mean, I can't control this. However, my mindset is this. If we take a look back in time, ZIL at one point, the market cap wasn't doing the best. We saw it hovering around 30 million, 35 million, 40 million, or whatever back in 2020. Then in 2021, the market cap went to nearly 2.5 billion. The thing is this. I'm pretty sure that in a make-believe scenario, if I was holding a project at around a 2.5 billion market cap, would it really matter if I acquired that project if the market cap at one point was around 70 million or 80 million or 30 million or whatever? In the grand scheme of things, if it's already done that sort of rally, it wouldn't really matter anymore. In my perspective, at least it wouldn't be something I would think about. It's like, for instance, okay, Bitcoin as of right now is below 70 grand. But even with this massive pullback from over 100 grand till right now, the ones who were holding Bitcoin from $1 or $5 or $10, I highly doubt they were thinking, oh, I can't believe this person got it at $2, I got it at $10 or whatever. Like at that point, even if with this major pullback, if they're still holding from back then, Bitcoin at above 60 grand, whether or not they got it at $2, $5, or $10, it's kind of largely irrelevant as of right now anyways. So when it comes to ZIL, sure, I'll never be able to know at the bottom, but if I'm dollar cost averaging and it goes down another 30% or 40% or whatever, if let's say maybe hypothetically things do recover maybe one day, who knows? At that point, I could care less actually if there was like these sort of dips, I would assume. Like if it's 20 or 30% or whatever, it wouldn't really matter in the future. Personally for me, hypothetically, if things do maybe change. So that's kind of the mindset that I have as of right now. And the thing is this. I actually do believe that Zilliqa is way better as of right now fundamentally. Not in terms of the price, but in terms of fundamentals than back then in 2021. The reason why I think so is because, first of all, Zilliqa 2.0, which I know a lot of people like to say it's not a big deal, who cares about that, but I think that's actually one of the most impressive things that Zilliqa has ever done, ever, right? In its history of its existence, at least in my perspective. Not to mention, if I take a look at ZIL, am I hypothetically still thinking about 25 cents? Well, yeah, I am. Now, it may seem kind of odd, again, it may seem kind of bizarre because we're around 54 times lower than that as of right now, but the market cap actually, considering current circulating supply, at 25 cents would be around 5 billion. The thing is this, back in 2021, we saw ZIL almost reach 2.5 billion, right? So this is just around 2 times more than that. And the thing is, I feel like, sure, there was less competitors back then, right? There was less projects basically around back then, in my opinion. However, back then there was around 300 million owners within this space. Now there's over 600 million. Not to mention, even though there's an increase in competitors as of right now, I don't feel like too many are actually really competing toe-to-toe with something like Zilliqa anyways in terms of fundamentals, because a lot of them, I feel like, don't really have the substance. And if I take a look at it, sure, Zilliqa, it's not really reinventing the wheel, but I think it's pretty cool in a sense where if we take a look at it, Zilliqa is allegedly the world's first ever sharding-based blockchain. So I find that pretty cool. And in case anyone is wondering, okay, what's sharding? Now, in this specific scenario, through sharding, the network, it's split into multiple sections known as shards, and as a result, the workload, it's distributed amongst these different shards, and as a result, it just becomes very scalable and just very, I think, a little bit impressive. That's what I like to call it. Now, Zilliqa is not the only one that has an aspect of sharding technology. Like, for instance, we take a look at the Near protocol, or we take a look at Harmony, right? But if I take a look at it, at least Zilliqa is kind of a pioneer, sort of, in that kind of space, at least in my perspective, because again, allegedly it is the world's first ever sharding-based blockchain. But besides that point, if I take a look at it, ZIL as of right now, it still has around over 80,000 holders. Actually, to be a little bit more specific, it's almost 84,000. And the thing is this, I don't want to give up because there's over 80,000 other individuals experiencing this exact situation when it comes to ZIL alongside me. And I just don't want to be the one that leaves. This is personally my perspective, because even though, again, I'm not telling anyone to do anything, but if I leave right now, I've just locked in all of the downwards movements. That's the way to take a look at it, because as far as I'm concerned, all of this is unrealized personally for me as of right now. I just haven't exited. Now, if I exit, then it becomes realized. But I just don't want to do that, especially right now. So what, I ride the roller coaster all the way down and I just leave? Yeah, I'm not going to do that, because who knows, sometimes the roller coaster could hypothetically recover. We'll wait and see, but sometimes I like to be a part of that journey, if maybe it does recover. So this is why I just don't want to leave. And the thing is this, if I take a look at it, this space, sometimes we've seen recoveries in the past. We'll wait and see what happens this time around, because I have no control over this. However, I just don't want to leave and just lock in all of the downwards movements. This is my mindset. Now, I'm not telling anyone to do anything, and ZIL could hypothetically maybe go lower. Who knows, right? I mean, I can't control this. But because I still like the project, I'm going to still be dollar cost averaging once a month, and I'm just not going to exit. So in terms of the fundamentals of the project, I'm not concerned. And in terms of the charts either, I'm not concerned, because I'm looking to dollar cost average anyways. So I'm looking to bring my average down. So either situation, both the fundamentals and the charts, as long as I'm not exiting and as long as I still believe in the project, this right here just simply doesn't concern me, because I don't even want to exit anyways. But this is just me, right? This is personally my own experience when it comes to this. This is kind of like my diary, so to speak, right? And kind of documenting how I feel about this project, but this is just how I feel about it. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. But long story short, I'm not concerned, and I just haven't given up. And I'll wait and see, because I don't think I've seen an altcoin season, but I'm going to stay waiting and just staying patient. That's about it. And I want to say thank you for watching. I hope you all have a very nice day. It's only the captain, and I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.